We have this rule, and it is called the 1.5 IQR rule for outliers. And what it says is that, so sometimes we look at some data and we say, is that an outlier? Well, we consider that an outlier. I mean, so, you know, if we're looking at a histogram, we say, well, there's kind of a gap, and then there's this data out here. So sometimes it's debatable, all right? So the 1.5 IQR rule it's a rule of thumb, and it says, all right, according to this rule, we're going to call a value an outlier if it is outside, it is at least 1.5 IQRs outside the interquartile range. And here, like between 18 and 20. So we've got 18 to 20, that's my middle half. And so, so my IQR is 2, all right? So here's 18 to 20. All right, that's 2 years. So if I go 1.5, so here's 1.5 of that guy. All right, so there's 2 years. So if I go 3 years above, so 1.5 IQR is 3 years. So if I go 3 years above 20 or 3 years below 18, so here's 1.5, you know. So 18 minus 3 is 15, right? Anything outside of this range, they call this the lower fence and this the upper fence. Anything outside of that range, we're going to call an outlier. So obviously, right here we see we've got at least a student who's 28 years old. So 28 is outside my fences. Just like I said, this is the upper fence. And this is the lower fence. So anybody who's 28 is not between 15 and 23 years old. So we're going to call that an outlier.